Subhanallah walhamdulillah, Subhanallah walhamdulillah, Subhanallah walhamdulillah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Fata'ala Allahu liman yalikul haqq. Fata'ala Allahu liman yalikul haqq. Fata'ala Allahu liman yalikul haqq. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wasallam. Assalamu alaikum, my brothers and sisters in Islam. My name is Muhammad Awal. I'm in Nigerian from Nigeria, indigent of Niger State, Idatira government inside Niger State, a village called Go inside Idatira government. That is why I'm from that mountain, that's my village. I'm a people tribe. This is my number 93 video. So I come to this Lagos, not 5 so Lagos in the area. Lagos in the area. So every time when you come to that mobile way, 5 minutes to up living. My business is silence once what happens to them silent. So to that is about translation of one. You see the whole one has some translation. You also characters seven heaven and seven earth. Then as I said that if you bring forth 7 seed at resupply, yet the word Ta'ala will never be exhausted. Truly Allah is almighty and all wise. Then that is how the translation of one is up to 7. But the one that I want to explain is 6 translation of one from FATIHA to NASI, which is a way in between, a way that searches for us, meaning the best one. Then, that's what I want to explain. You see, when we go to Al-Isra, in chapter 17 of Quran, verse 44 said, تُسَبِّحُ لَكُ السَّمَاوَاتِ السَّبْعُ وَالْأَرْضُ وَمَنْ فِيهِنَّ وَإِن مِّن شَيْءٍ إِلَّا يُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِهِ وَلَكِنْ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ تَسْبِيحَهُ إِنَّهُ كَانَ حَلِيمًا غَفُورًا. It says 7 heaven and earth and all that they in glorify Him. And then there is not a thing but glorify His praise. But you understand not their glorification. So you see, Allah says 7 heaven. تُسَبِّحُ لَكُ السَّمَاوَاتِ السَّبْعُ وَالْأَرْضُ woman faith. It says 7 heaven and earth and all that they glorify Him. You see, when we come to arrangement of the word, you treat the word will transfer, you arrange what word, you also arrange it. The one that you first mentioned, you do it before the second one. You see every command of Almighty Allah is following one another, you also arrange it. You will see everything is happening one after the other, you also arrange it. So I see 7 heaven, the Allah says 7 heaven, also 7 earth. Then all that all together, all that dear it glorify Him, perform salah to Almighty Allah. Meaning follow the command of Almighty Allah. Do Allah want it how He wanted, exactly what He wanted. Then that is how the translation one is up to 7. Do Allah say 7 and 7 earth. Then that's how the translation one is up to 7. Then again, when we go to the Kavi chapter 1, verse 1 and 9 said, قُلْ لَوْ كَانَ الْبَحْرُ مِدَادًا لِكَلِمَاتِ رَبِّهِ لَنَفِدَ الْبَحْرُ قَبْلَ أَن تَنفَدَ كَلِمَاتُ رَبِّهِ وَلَوْ جِئْنَا بِمِثْلِهِ مَدَدًا. If the sea were ink were dry, the word of Allah, then the sea will exhaust. The word of Almighty Allah will never be exhausted. Even though you bring forth another seed like it for it will add. Meaning it will finish. The word of Almighty Allah will never finish. You continue doing that, it has no end. Then again, this over there, then Allah said in Surah Al-Luqman, chapter 31 of Quran, verse 27. Said, وَلَوْ أَنَّمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ مِنْ شَجَرَةِ الْأَكْلَامِ وَالْبَحْرِ يَمُدُّهُ مِنْ بَعْدِ سَبْعَةِ أَبْحُرٍ مَا نَفِدَتْ كَلِمَاتُ اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَزِيزٌ حَكِيمٌ. Allah said, if all the trees on the earth were paid and the sea were ink, were dried, were the 7 seed artery supplied, were the 7 seed behind it artery supplied, yet the word of Allah would never be exhausted. Truly Allah is almighty and all wise. Then that is how the translation one is up to 7. Then the one that I want to explain is 6 translation one from FATIHA to NASI, which is a way in between, a way that's just for us in salat, in fasting, in judgment, and in prayer. Meaning the best one. That is 6 translation one from FATIHA to NASI. Then the problem about that, you see, when we go to the Surah Al-Isra, chapter 17 of the Quran, verse 106 and 110. Let's say that you have divided one in 2 parts. He said that they had divided the word 1 into 2 parts. Then, which is in Surah Al-Isra, chapter 1, verse 106 and 110. Verse 106 said, وَقُرْآنًا فَرَّقْنَا تَقْرَأُ عَلَى النَّاسِ عَلَى الْمُكْثِ وَنَزَّلْنَاهُ تَنزِيلًا. And the Quran in which I've divided into 2 parts in order to myself to remain at interval. وَنَزَّلْنَاهُ تَنزِيلًا is a revelation with a field. Then you see, Allah said that He has divided 1 into 2 parts. Then let us cover how many parts the Quran has been divided. How many parts Allah divided 1. Then again, when we go to Al-Isra, chapter 1, verse 110. Surah said, قُلِ ادْعُوا اللَّهَ وَادْعُوا الرَّحْمَنَ أَيَّامَا تَدْعُوا الْأَسْمَاءُ وَاللَّهِ جَلَّ وَعَلَا وَلَا تَجْهَرْ بِصَلَاتِكَ وَلَا تُخَافِتْ بِهَا وَابْتَغِ بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ. You say, call Allah or call Ar-Rahman, by whatever name you call Him, same for Him belongs to the Rahman. Then the first command Allah said, وَلَا تَجْهَرْ صَلَاتِكَ, like the loudest salah, meaning tone of salah. You see, that is first of all. Then second command also said, وَلَا تُخَافِتْ بِهَا. No, you hide it, meaning don't hide the salat. You say that, the second one. Then the third command also said, وَابْتَغِي بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ سَبِيلًا, but follow your way. You say that, third one. So you see the whole word has been very in three parts. Allah said very word in three parts. Then philosophy behind the Vishal one in three parts has no end. Then look at it here. Allah said, وَابْتَغِي وَلَا تَجَسْرَكَ, don't listen. That is first one. وَلَا تُخَافِتْ, don't hide it. That's our part. So you see the louded and hidden all together. Allah said one must not do them all. He now give us thought and say, وَابْتَغِي بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ سَبِيلًا, but follow with it. Then this way between is for you to adjust your face. You will neither learn it unless somebody comes closer to you. Here, sit this part. What I say society. Your recitation will be like this. You see, I didn't allow the hadith. I didn't allow the other hadith unless somebody comes closer to you. Here, sit this part. What I say society. That is not for one. That's when searches for. Then that's where all material. Then all your salat stuff from salat to subhi, salat to zuhr, salat to asr, salat to maghrib, salat to isha, and witr, nafilat, zbirai. All your say in salat, all your say in tasbah, all your station in du'a. You will neither loud it nor hide it unless somebody come closer to you. Yes, if this part, what is society? Then that is third one. That's when searches for. Then that's where all material. Then the conqueror for Internet is a way for material. You see what was what and fight if everyone verse 24 said, Ya you are Lazina Manusibu Lillahi wa Rasulihi Zadakum Lima Yuhikum wa Alamu Anna Allah Yakinun Bain al Makar beyond the way to show. He say, oh you who believe, answer Allah and His Messenger when He call you to that which is giving life. And know that Allah come in between person and his side, and then to him shall God. He say, wa alamu anna Allah yakinun bain al Makar. And know that Allah come in between person and side. Allah come in between person and side. And then to him we shall begin. Look at it. Look at the verse here. You see the verse here? Then Allah come in between person and side. Allah come in between person and side. Allah come in between person and then to him shall God. Then wa'alamu anna Allah yahinun bayna al-makar. And know that Allah come in between person and side. Then He gave us command in Surah Al-Israel chapter 71 verse 10. And the verse said, وَابْتَغِي بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ سَبِيلًا, but follow a way in between. But follow a way in between. Look at it here. So see, a way in between is a way of following material. There's no doubt in that. That this way is for you to adjust your ways. All your sins, all your sins, all your sins, why you adjust why you will not allow the hadith. Unless somebody comes close to you, you can see this particular person is upset. So you see, that is thought for one, that's way that's what it's adjust for. That's why follow material. Then the name of the way between your follow material, that's special one. Which is what was what so much chapter 18, 1 verse. Chapter 1 verse 18. Said الذين يستمعون القول فيتبعون الأحسن أولئك هداهم الله وأولئك هم أولو الألباب. Those who listen to your word and follow the best part thereof, then those are whom Allah has rightly guided, and then those are men of understanding. So you see the whole one is the word of all of that. Then when the Muslim listens to the whole one and follow the best part thereof, then those are then a way to is your follow material. Then the name of the way to a way follow material, that is the best part of the one. So you see, and then again, so you see, best for one. So this a way between that you are saying, that's why the success for us in our salat, in fasting, in judgment, and in all activity. We adjust our voice in salat. Meaning that another that this a way between the best one for you to know it well. You see, when we come to the sky, when you look at the sky has three signs: the sign of brightness, and the sign of darkness, and the sign of when the sky is blue. You see, that is concrete proof for the division of one into three parts. Concrete proof for the division of one into three parts. Then, when we come to the first part of one, when the sky is on the brightness, that is from morning to the evening. That's, you see, that time is a long distance. So I take all of us fast. You see, that time, the time is very, that time is long, it's very wide. That's first one. Then when the skies were darkness, that's from night to daybreak. You see, that one is the longest one, take almost 12 hours. You see, that time is long, it's very wide, that's number one. But when the sky is blue, 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 that time is some minute. That time is not wide, it's tight, that is third one. That's what it is, then the name of the wave of that's what's one. So say, demonstrate again, that time, that is the time Allah command us to stop eating, meaning to take our fasting. That's the white thread, don't appear to the same from black thread. The white thread don't appear to the same from black thread. That is when the sky is blue, blue, because that time is so many, that time is not wide, it's tiny. Then that time, that's white thread. Then that time, that is after Salat, so when the sky is blue, blue. Then that time Allah command us to stop eating, to take our fasting. Then that time again, that is after Salat, and the Maghrib for Salat, when the sky is blue, blue. You see, the same time you take a fasting, the same time you break a fasting. Then when the sky is blue, blue, that is third one. That's what it is, that's what it is. The name of the way of Tara, that's what's then again, it is over there. We go to the that is the time Allah explained in Surah Al-Baqarah chapter 1 Surah 8 sama end al-masjid wa kulu washrabu hatta yatabayyana al-khayt al-abyad min al-khayt al-aswad min al-fajr summa atimmu siyama al-layl. You say eat and drink, but what you don't appear to distinct from black, then break a fast the night for. You say wa kulu washrabu hatta yatabayyana al-khayt al-abyad min al-khayt al-aswad min al-fajr. Eat and drink, but what you don't appear to distinct from black, then that is after Salat when the sky is blue, because that time when the water don't appear to you the same from black, that's when the sky is blue, because that time is so many, that time is not wide, it's tiny. You see, that's water. Then that time, that's after Salat when the sky is blue. Then that time Allah command us to stop eating, to take our fasting. Then the man says, Summa don't break your fasting tonight. Then that is after Salat Maghrib for Salat Isha when the sky is blue. You see, sometimes you take fasting, sometimes you break a fast. Then when the sky is blue, that is third one. That's what it is, that's what it is. Then the name of the way in between, the way of Allah, that is best one. Then again, it's over there. We come to the leaf. When you check the leaf, when you check the leaf, look at the leaf. When you check the leaf, the right hand side of leaf, look at the leaf. Look at leaf. The right hand side of the leaf, you see, is long, it's very wide. That's what's called. The left hand side of the leaf, you see, is long, it's very wide. That's number one. Then this line that draw comes to the leaf, you see, it's not wide, it's tiny. That is not one. That's what called. Then the name of the way to your form, that's what's called. Just again, when you check the hair of the bed, look at the hair of the bed. You see, hair of the bed. The right hand side have there, you see, it's long, it's very wide. That's what's called. The left hand side have there, you see, it's long, it's very wide. That's number one. Then this line that draw comes to the hair of the bed, you see, it's not wide, it's tiny. That is number one. That's what Then the name of the way to your form, that is best one. Then again, when you come to our body, the right hand side of our body, you see, it's long, it's very wide. That's what's called. The left hand side of our body, you see, it's long, it's very wide. That's number one. Then this line that draw comes to our body, you see, it's not wide, it's tiny. That is number one. That's what Then the name of the way to your form, that is possible. Then again, when we come to the animal, with one that are living forward, with one that are living in the house, with one that are living inside water, with ant and very ant. When you check their body, you will see a line that draw comes to their body. You see? The draw comes to their body. That time you find it tight. If you like, you check the body of lion. You see a line that draw comes to the body of lion, right inside. They will come to one. The right hand side of the body of animal, you see, is long, it's very wide. That's one. The left hand side body of animal, you see, is long, it's very wide. That's the second one. Then the line that draw comes to the body of animal, you see, is not wide, it's tiny. That is third one. That's what it is. Then the name of the way to your form, that's what's one. That is best for one. Then again, when you check the Quran, look at the Quran. The right hand side of the Quran, you see, is long, it's very wide. That's what's one. The left hand side of the Quran, you see, is long, it's very wide. That's the second one. Then this line that draw comes to the Quran, you see, it's not wide, it's tiny. That is third one. That's what it is. Then the name of the way to your form, that's first one. Then again, when you check the body of bed, you will see a line that draw comes to the body of bed, right hand side. The way it is like this in my body. And the way you see, look at it. Look at it here. Between Allahu Akbar that appear the right side of every mankind body and the left side of every mankind body. Look at it here. This line that draw. Look at it in my body. So when you come to So, when you check the border of bed, you find it like this. So, when we come for the right hand side border of bed, you see it's long, it's very wide, that's one. The left hand side border of bed, you see it's long, it's very wide, that's one. Then the line that draw that comes to the border of bed, you see it's not wide, it's tiny. That is third one. That's what call it. Then the name of the way that's possible. Then Allah give us command said, Wala tajal salatka. Don't allow the salat. Then if you do allow the salat, the way the Muslims allow the salat, you see it's long, it's very wide. That is possible. Allah said, Wala tajal salatka. Don't allow the salat to the extent that Muslims allow the salat, to the extent that they are using loudspeaker, so that somebody that is from far place will be hearing your citation. Then if you do allow the salat, the way the Muslims allow the salat, you see that one is long, it's very wide. That's first part. That is first part of one. Then Allah said, Wala tukhafidha. Don't hide the salat. Then if you do hide the salat, the way the Muslims are hiding the salat, you see that one is long, it's very wide. You say loud of salat, that is salat of subhi, part of salat, maghrib, part of salat. Hiding, which is salat of zuhri, salat of asr, part of salat, maghrib, part of salat. Then Allah said, so you see. So the conclusion for the hiding of salat is long, it's very wide. You see what sort of power? Chapter 24 verse 7 said, "Wa in tajhar bi qawlika fa innahu ya'lamu sirraka." If you speak your vocation loudly, then Allah knows secret and which is yet more hidden. Meaning, if you perform your salat loudly, then Allah says that. If you perform your salat loudly, then Allah knows secret and which is yet more hidden. Fa innahu ya'lamu sirraka. Allah knows secret and which is yet more hidden. So you see, that one is long, it's very wide. Then Allah said, now give a command, said, Wala tukhafidha. Don't hide the salat. If you do hide the salat, where the Muslims are hiding the salat, you see that one is long, it's very wide. That's number one. Then Allah Ta'ala give a third command, said, Wabtagi bayna dhati and follow empty. Then this empty is for you to adjust your voice. You will neither allow the hadith unless somebody come closer to you. You will hear say this part. What I say is reciting. So say, your recitation will be like this. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alamin, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, ihdinas siratal mustaqim, siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim. You see, I not allow the hadith. I didn't allow it at the height unless somebody come closer to you. You hear say this part. What I say, this particular person is reciting. You see that one is not wide, it's tiny. That is third one. That's what all matter. Then the name of the way in between all matter, that's possible. So you see, for you to know the best part of what the way in between also just for us. Well, look at it. Then you see a way between that's way that's just for us in our salat and fasting. Then again in judgment, when you see two people are fighting, you go in between them and they start to have separate fight. You go in between them and they start to have separate fight. Allah said, وَعَلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ in Surah Al-Anfal, chapter 8, verse 24, end of the verse. وَعَلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ غَيْنٌ بَيْنَ مَنْ and know that Allah come in between persons. Then He gave a command in Surah Al-Isra. He gave us a command in Surah Al-Isra, chapter 31, verse 1 at the end of the verse. وَابْتَغِي بَيْنَ ذَاتِهِ but follow you with it. Allah come in between and then so see, you follow him. So you see what you follow him. Then when you come to separate, you go in between and then steps around separate fight. Then when you separate fight, from there, the person at the right hand side fighting with the person at the left side, that's first one. The person at the left side fighting with the person at the right hand side, that's second one. Then you that go in between them and then steps around separate fight, that is third one. That's what follow him. Then the name of the way between you see a way between a way follow you follow and then separate that fight. Then from there, you now look at who is at 40 and then who is truthful. The one that is at 40, you give it 40. That's first one. The one that is truthful, you give it 2. That's second one. Then you that judge in between them with justice. That is third one. That's what follow it. Then the name of the way between follow it. That's first one. Then again, the one that is at 40, you give him the 4. Whether if you come with the word, feel word with it in order for you to give him for you to support him, don't support him. And then if you dare support him, you see that judgment, that the one that is truthful will not agree. From there, that judgment will take a time, will take a long time. You see that time that you take, you see it's long, it's very wide. Then, the one that is at 40, you give him the 4th. Whether if you come with the gold field work for you to give him, for you to support him, don't support him, give him the 4th. That is first one. Then the one that is truthful, you give him the truth, whether if he doesn't have anything. That is second part one. Then you that judge in between them with justice. You say that judgment that you judge, it is some minutes. You will judge in between them. You see that time is not wide, it's tiny. That is third part one. That's what then the name of the way to that is best part one. So look at it in judgment. Then again, this is a way between the two are saying it. Philosophy behind it has no end. When we come to the thing that we manufacture, it's a way between. Even talking that you are talking, seeing that you are seeing with our eyes, is through a way between. We follow and see, talk, eat. When you look at it, the upper, when we come to the, before that one, before we go that one, you see, if you dare follow a way between anyone that follow a way between, any Muslim that follow a way between, or follow between the best of one, then that the salat that is performing, fasting, judgment, all is fully guided. You understand, guided open. Then the proof about that. You see, when you look at water, sea water, Allah has built a barrier between sea water and between sweet and palm and sea water, which is in Surah Al-Furqan chapter 21 verse 53 said, وهو الذي مرج البحرين هذا عذب فرات وهذا منه الحجاج وجعلنا بينكم برزخا وحجرا مهجورا. It is He who let freely two kind of water. This is palm and sweet, and that is sour and bitter. Then Allah said, وَجَعَلْنَا بَيْنَكُمْ بَرْزَخًا, and then we set a barrier in between two water. And then a complete partition between them. Allah set a barrier between them. So look at it here. And then when you get the video, you see how Allah built a wall between sweet and palm and sea water. Then when we come to one, you see sweet and palm. You see it's long, it's very wide. That is first one. Then sea water is long, it's very wide. That's the second one. Then وَجَعَلْنَا بَيْنَكُمْ بَرْزَخًا, then Allah now built a wall between these two water. Then that wall that Allah built, that is third one. That's what all material. Then that is a wall Allah built between sweet and palm and sea water. So see. Then also again, this again is somebody. When you look at the sky has still side, the side of brightness and the side of darkness and the side of what the sky is blue. Then when the sky is with brightness, that's take a long distance from morning to the evening, almost 12 hours. You see that one is long, it's very wide. That is possible. Then when the sky is with darkness, that's from night to daybreak. You see that one is a long distance one. It take almost 12 hours. You see that time is long, it's very wide. That's the problem. But when the sky is blue, you see that time is not wide. It takes some minutes. It's not wide, it's tiny. That is third part. That's what then the name of the wave that's possible. Then when the sun, see, when the sky is blue, that is white red down appear to the sun from black red. Because that time is so many, that time is not wide, it's tiny. And then that time, that is after Salat, so when the sky is blue. And then that time, that's after Salat, Maghrib, for Salat, when the sky is blue. Then when the sky is blue, that is third part, that's what then the name of the wave that's possible. Then that time that you are seeing, that is the time Allah commanded us to take our fasting and then to break our fasting. Then any Muslim that take his fasting at that particular time when the sky is blue, and then break his fasting at that particular time when the sky is blue, meaning after Salat when the sky is blue, and then break his fasting after Salat and before Salat when the sky is blue. Then that time, that is a wall. When the sky is blue, that is a wall, barrier that is built between the brightness and darkness. Then if you dare take your fasting at that particular time and then break it at that particular time, then that your fasting is fully guided. You are like guided one. Then also again when we come to the Salat, Allah said, don't allow the Salat. Then if you dare allow the Salat the way the Muslim, this is allowed the Salat, you see that one is long, it's very wide. That is first one. Then Allah now said, don't hide the Salat. If you dare hide the Salat the way the Muslims this is hiding the Salat, you see that one is long, it's very wide. That's the one. So see, there, and then that's the Salat to Subhi, louder Salat to Subhi, part of Salat to Maghrib, Salat. And then hide it with the Salat to Zuhr, Salat Asr, part of Salat to Maghrib, Salat. Then Allah Subhanahu give us third command said, وَبَتَقِي بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ سَبِيلًا, but follow the way in between. Then there's a way between. is for you to adjust your weight. Unless somebody comes to you, you get a say this Prophet says such. Little. Then you see that one is not wide. It's tidy. That is taught for one. That's what then the name of the way to that's what. So it's a way between the Allah command us to follow to adjust our voice. That is barrier that Allah built between the louding of salat and the hiding. Adjusting voice, Allah said that which is adjust our voice, we follow a way between that, a way between Allah command us to follow. That's a barrier, a wall that Allah built between the louding of salat and hiding. Then any Muslim that follow a way between in salat, then that salat is fully guided. You want to say guided for one. Then also again when we come to the judgment, Allah said, when you see two people are fighting, you go in between them, you separate and fight. There, the one that is at 40, you give it 40. Whether if you come with the gold, feel war with it, for it to give it, for it to support it, don't support it. And then if you just support it, you see that one, it take a long time because the one that is truthful will not agree. So the one that is at 40, you give it 40. Whether if you come with the gold, feel war with it, for it to give it, don't support it. Give him the 4. That is first one. Then the one that is truthful, you give him the truth. Whether if he doesn't have anything, that's second problem. Then judgment that you judge in between them. You see the time that you use in judgment in few seconds, you will finish judge in between them. That judgment will be quick. You say that one is not wide, it's tight that time. That is not what that's what that. Then that judgment that you judge, you see, with justice, then that is a war Allah built between false and the truth. That's the war that's built between false and the truth. Then if you dare if the Muslims don't follow a way between, they will follow in their judgment, then that their judgment is fully guided. You want to say guided over. Just again, this when you come to our body, look at it, the line that's in between our body. That's the war that's built between the right hand side of our body and the left side of our body. Just again, when you go to the left, the philosophy behind it has no end. When we go to the left, look at the left. You see the left? This line that is in between the left, that's a wall that's built between the right side left and left side left. And then that line, you'll find it all left. All the left, you find a line. Then again, when you come to the hair of the bed, look at it, the line that is in between that line. That's the wall that's built between the right side of the hair of the bed and left side. And then all the hair of the bed, you find that line. Then again, when you go to the animal, would want to live in forest, would want to live in south, would want to live inside water, and fell on. You'll see a line of drops in between their body. That's the wall that's built between the right side of any animal body and left side. Then again, when you go to the bed, you'll see a line of drops come to their body. Right side. That's the wall that's built between the right side of body, bed, and left side. Look at it, colonel. This line that is in between the colonel. That's the wall that's built between the right side of the colonel and left side. Then again, this wall that's seen, philosophy behind it has no end. This is what is built between that fighting that we are fighting in the battlefield. You see, when we finish fighting, that's the war that's built between you and your enemy. Those one that believe in Allah and disbelievers. Meaning you and your enemy. When you finish fighting. So see, a barrier, a war. So philosophy behind it has no end. Then again, through this way between all material, that's where you know that this is a way that leads straight to all material. Through a way between all material, that's where you know that a way that leads straight to all material, which Allah said is Surah Al-Hijr, chapter 54, verse 41 said, "All other Surah Al-Alayhim." This is a way which leads straight to me. This is a way which leads straight to me. You see, when you look at it, Kaaba is equilibrium of the world, it's the middle of the world. When you look at the world, that's the reason why I take an orange. I take an orange to give you as a sample. You see, when you look at the world, the orange is like a wall, round like a wall. It's like then Kaaba is equilibrium of the world. It's the middle of the world. Then shining light that comes from the heaven Kaaba, it has become sensible. Then that Kaaba that's equilibrium of the world, that is one of the Sunnah light that I mentioned. Then That shining light that comes from heaven to Kaaba, that one has been coming since before. That is one of the central everything. There. When we come to the right hand side of the whole world, that's what's called. The left hand side of the whole world, that's number one. Then the line that brother comes to the then that shining light that comes from heaven to Kaaba, that is third one. That's what all matter. That's where the list all matter. And then the philosophy behind it has no end. Then when the shining light come from heaven to Kaaba for the Ramadan period, it is the Muslim of the world they had want to round that shining light would all round. You sabbihuna bihamdi rabbihim, glorify Allah and thank Him the way the angels are doing. Which is in Surah Al-Zumar chapter 39 verse 75 said, وَتَرَى الْمَلَائِكَةَ حَافِينَ مِنْ حَوْلِ عَرْشِكَ يُسَبِّحُونَ بِحَمْدِ رَبِّهِمْ وَقُضِيَ بَيْنَهُم بِالْحَقِّ وَقِيلَ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. You see, and then you see the angel rounded the throne of Allah all around. And then you will see the angel rounding the throne of Almighty Allah with all round. They are glorified, praise Allah, and thank Him. وَقُضِيَ بَيْنَهُم بِالْحَقِّ. Say all the creation, all the human people joined with throne. Then the man said, وَقِيلَ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. And then all the praise and thank be to Allah of Alim, Allah of Almighty. So see, then this one that we are seeing in the Bayt al-Ma'mur, a house following to Kaaba in the heaven, which Allah mentioned in Surah Tur chapter 51 verse 1 to 4. Verse 4 said, verse 1 said, وَالطُّورُ وَكِتَابٍ مَسْطُورٍ فِي رَقٍّ مَنشُورٍ وَالْبَيْتِ الْمَعْمُورِ. That's verse 4. وَالْبَيْتِ الْمَعْمُورِ. A house following to Kaaba in the heaven. That's where the angels gather round the throne of Almighty. You sabbihuna bihamdi rabbihim, glorify the praise of Almighty. So when the shining light comes from heaven to Kaaba, at that particular time, is the Muslim of the whole they had want to round that shining light with all round. You sabbihuna bihamdi. All round the shining light with all round. You sabbihuna bihamdi rabbihim, we glorify the praise of Almighty. Thank Him. What angels are doing? Look at how it is. Then that shining light that comes from heaven to Kaaba, that's where the spiritual matter. Look at this orange. When you look at it, the philosophy behind it has no head. When you look at orange is round like a wall. Then this point, look at it here. That's why when you go to Quran, you find dots. You doesn't know the meaning of dot. When Allah put dot, you say that you think that the philosophy behind dot has no. Look at it. This one that we are seeing. You see it here. You see it? It's equilibrium of the orange, meaning middle of orange. And then you see that light. You see the way the Kaaba is equilibrium of the world. That's why you see here. You see it? Equilibrium. Then, shining light that comes from the Kaaba. You see, that is equilibrium. You see? Then, also here you see it. Inside this orange, you see that line. Then what comes from the right side of the orange. That's what comes. The left side of orange, that's what. Then this line that comes to the orange, that is in between the orange. That's where the list total matter. Then again, when we come to the apple, also you see it. You go to the thing that we manufacture. Look at this rubber. Look at it in the rubber. You see a point in between the rubber. You see? The right side of this rubber, that's the left side of the rubber, that's then this line, this point that is, you see, they didn't put it, they didn't put it, but they put a sign in between. That is equilibrium. That's what all matter. That's where the spiritual matter. When you go to the leaves, you see a line. That line that draw comes to the leaf. Right, that is a way. That's what all matter. That's where the spiritual matter. Look at it. Look at it on the leaf. A way the spiritual matter. Just again, when you go to the hair of the bed, look at it on the hair of the bed. That's where all matter. That's where the spiritual matter on the hair of the bed. Just again, when we come to the kolanot, also kolanot. That line that comes to the kolanot, right there. Look at it. This line. That's where the spiritual material. All other surat al-Imsakin. This is the way which is straight to me. Then again, this line that brother comes to the body, look at it. That is the way which is that's the way follow material. That's where the spiritual material. What's what? For the animal would want to live in the forest, would want to live in sound, would want to live inside water, would ant and fell ant. With them, Lion, when you check their body, you see a light that draw come to their body, right side. Then that's what problem. That's where the straight tournament. When you go to the bed, also bed, you find a line that draw come to their body. That's why. That's where the way to your follow. That's where the straight tournament. Then again, somebody the philosophy behind it has no end. When you go to the apple, you find it round, round like a wall. Then you find in between it, you find that line. You find it in between where the shining light comes from the camera. You see, that's where the way to your follow. That's where the straight tournament. When you see this rubber, look at it. They didn't put it, but they put a side here. Look at the dot here. You see, it's round like a wall. Then they now put the dot in between, the way the Kaaba is incollable. Then the shine light that come from the Kaaba is, that's the way, let's look at it here. Look at the point on the head here. You see the head? Look at it here again. They say, put a sound, round. That's where that's where the straight wall material. You find it in even the plate that we are eating. You find in between the plate, you find a dot. You put a dot there. Then the way the Kaaba, the wall is round. The other plate is round. The Kaaba is equal over the wall. That's why you see in a plate you put a dot in between. That's how it is. The philosophy behind it has no end. Then again, when we come to it, didn't solve it yet. This a way between through a way between. That's where you know that the whole world is speaking about what's happening now. Through a way between your follow that. That's where you know that the whole world is speaking about what's happening now. Then the proof about that. You see, Allah give us the comment said, "Wala tiyat suraka don't love suraka. Wala tuqabiya don't hide it. Wabtaji bayna zalika but follow it." Then look at how it is. When we come to the eye, the upper lip of the eye, that's one. The down lip of the eye, that's upper one. Then that your eye that you are blinking and seeing, that is third one. That's what problem. Then between the upper lip of the eye and the down lip of the eye, what is in between there? That is blinking and seeing. That is third one. Then that is third one. That's what that is the way problem. Then that blinking of eye that you are blinking, is that not what is happening now? That is what's happening now. Therefore, the whole part is talking about what's happening now. Or seeing that you are seeing with your eye, is that not what's happening now? That is what's happening now. Therefore, the whole part is talking about what's happening now. Then again, when we come to the mouth, the upper lip of the mouth, where the upper teeth of the mouth, that's first one. The down lip of the mouth, where the down teeth of the mouth, that's second one. Then that your mouth that is going up and down while you're talking, while you're eating, that is third one. That's the way of Almighty Allah. Then the name of the way to Almighty Allah, that's first one. Then between the upper lip of the mouth and the upper teeth of the mouth and the upper teeth of the mouth, with the down lip of the mouth, with the down teeth of the mouth, what is in between there? That is talking and eat. Then that is third one. That's what then the name of the way to that's what's called. Then that talking that you are talking to mouth, is that not what is happening now? That is what is happening now. Therefore, the whole part is speaking about what's happening now. Or eating that you are eating with your mouth, is that not what is happening now? That is what is happening now. Therefore, the whole part is speaking about what's happening now. Then also again we come to it. Breathing that you are breathing to your nose, that's what's happening now. Walking, hearing that you are hearing with your ears, that is what is happening now. Walking that you are walking to hand, that's what's happening. Walking that you are walking to leg, that's what's happening. Running that you are running with your leg, that is what's happening. Flying that the bird is flying, that is what's happening. If you move an inch, that is what's happening. So say, through a way to your phone, the person you know that the whole part is speaking about something. If you move an inch, it's through a way to your phone, the person you follow and move. Your mouth, you that want to move, that's what moving that you move, that's a problem. Move it. Where you move to, that's a problem. Then moving that you are moving, that's what that's what then the name of the way to your phone, that's what. Then again, when we come to the thing that to my photo. Through a way to your phone, we follow my photo, thing that to my photo. You that want to my photo, something, that's what's called. Then things, iron, a rubber, or something that you use in manufacturing, that's a problem. Then manufacturing that you are doing with your hand, that is top of one. That's what then the name of the way to your phone, that's what. Doesn't get adjusted point that was said which we should adjust our way. You will not allow the hand. When you manufacture something, you adjust brake, you adjust gear, you adjust this thing. When you finish manufacture something, you adjust it. You adjust it. And then for you to adjust your voice, you say that it doesn't know how to adjust. Look at it. Then so again, look at it again. For those one that went for Allah, their salah, hide it. You see, they are not that loud in that hide of salah that they are doing. where you find it inside the hadith that it's criminal Arab or to lie on prophet. Then you see they are not following the whole one. Then a way between a way following that they are not following. No Imam has ever wanted it. You see that word, anyone that follows everything is following a way of following. If is following the whole one, he has followed step of prophet. He has believed in the prophet because Allah said, give him command. Three commands said, "Wala tajasaraka dolan salam wala taqabal don't hide." What to give by the Zatra but follow everything. So anyone that follows everything, he has followed step of prophet. He has believed in the prophet. He has acted according to the prophet. And then he has followed the Holy Quran, hadith of Allah, which is Holy Quran. Then, that allowed it. Those ones that went for Allah, the salat and hide it. You see, disobey Allah. Those ones that allowed it and hide it, that most of the are doing the salat, is not written inside one. Therefore, the Holy Quran cast upside and throw it back there. Where you find it written inside the hadith that criminal Arab ought to lie on prophet. Say that to say. And then inside that hadith, they say that they are Sahih of that hadith, they are Sahih. Then inside Sahih and Sahih, you find louding of salat and hiding. And then that louding of hiding, that louding and hiding, that most of the are doing the salat, is not written somewhere. Therefore, the one reject it. Where that's where you find it. So see, that's where you know that that hadith entirely is a lie on prophet. What they are doing is not written inside the hadith of Allah, which Allah sent prophet with. So you see, so anyone that follow